We truly live in an insane asylum. Unfreaking real. I don't know how many times I've been through this. You know, you got people out there that want to say, you know, Trump's not fulfilling this, not fulfilling that. This is what could happen if he's taken out of office. So you better wake up, all right? You better wake the hell up. I'm going to give you some of Steve from Think About It on the shock treatment. The guy's a Christian, and he's really in the know. You see what I'm saying? At any rate, unfreaking believable.
Pushing America off the cliff.
With that, I now recognize myself to give an opening statement in the impeachment inquiry into Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States. Yesterday morning, the committee heard from Ambassador Gordon Sondland, the American ambassador to the European Union, the de facto leader of the Three Amigos, who had regular access to President Donald Trump and pressed the new Ukrainian President, Vladimir Zelensky, for two investigations Trump believed would help his re-election campaign. The first investigation was of a discredited conspiracy theory that Ukraine and not Russia was responsible for interfering in our 2016 election. The second investigation was into the political rival Trump apparently feared most, Joe Biden. Trump sought to weaken Biden and to refute the fact that his own election had been helped by a Russian hacking and dumping operation and Russian social media campaign directed by Vladimir Putin.
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. These signals being sent through
The president took every opportunity to spread unsubstantiated claims and attack his political enemies.
Trump is referring to unfounded allegations that his vice president Biden tried to protect his son by stopping an investigation into the Ukrainian company that his son worked for.
Biden and his son have denied all wrongdoing, and there is no evidence of any.
And there's no evidence either Biden did anything
wrong.
But there's been no evidence of any wrongdoing.
But
there has been, he uncovered no evidence of wrongdoing by Biden.
Rudy Giuliani claims without proof
Unsubstantiated,
unfounded
accusations against Biden.
Hunter Biden did not violate anything.
And there's no evidence Biden did anything wrong.
The president talked about Joe Biden corruption. Of course,
that's fake news right there. Take a look at fake news.
Acted in a corrupt way at all.
unfounded, no evidence, unsubstantiated.
I remember going over convincing our team or others to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours. I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
Biden and his son have denied all wrongdoing, and there is no evidence of any.
And there's no evidence either Biden did anything wrong.
But there's been no evidence of any wrongdoing.
But
there has been, he uncovered no evidence.
Misinformation, disinformation, fake news, whatever you call it. It's all lies. The purpose is to get you to ignore the truth and continue believing the lies. 3 years ago, I could see the globalist plan ready to be carried out and fully implemented. Then something miraculous happened. Donald Trump actually won the caused the rats to scramble and replan a new strategy. How can we get rid of Donald Trump and retake this country that we're accustomed to running in lies? The purpose is to get you to ignore the truth and continue believing the lies. 3 years ago, I could see the globalist plan ready to be carried out and fully implemented. Then something miraculous happened. Donald Trump actually won the election,
it was a
and that
miracle,
caused
all right?
the rats to scramble and replan a new strategy. How can we get rid of Donald Trump and retake this country that we're accustomed to running and pilfering?
Let me press the pause button on that, Steve. I told you many times over that at 8:30 at night, a church in the United States called upon all Christians to to pray, all right, for Trump. To pray, starting at 8:30 election night. We got to hell in Georgia, checked in the hotel between 8:30 and 9 o'clock that night. Had no idea this church pastor called upon all Christians to pray for Trump. All right? We get in there and he's losing the electoral college. Big time. Bigly. All right? We go to Huddle House. We get us some grub. Ma starts talking to some women there, because there's mostly women there, and they're all conservative, talking about the dire situation. He's losing. She was stealing, trying to steal the election. So they got in a circle, started praying. When I have time, I will find this video. I will. I just haven't. It's going to take a long time to find it. I haven't sat down for like 2 hours to go through all my thousands of videos and pictures to find it. With that said, we get back to the hotel room after they prayed, not knowing that Christians all around the country, if not the world, were praying. And lo and behold, Trump started taking states that he really didn't look like he was going to be able to win. All right, even Megyn Kelly looked surprised in one of those states. I don't know if it was North Carolina, South Carolina, it doesn't matter, neither here nor there, Pennsylvania, whatever. All right? So you're going to tell me that God doesn't have a hand in all this? Oh yeah, God doesn't. I mean, especially if you're a Christian. You're actually denying that God has a play even in politics. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you read Revelation? Have you read about the Antichrist? You don't think that's going to be involved? That's politics. He's going to be a dictator, a ruler, right, over the whole world. He'll cause all, both great and small, rich and poor, to receive the mark in his right hand and forehead, and you won't be able to buy or sell without that mark. All right? So I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I'll let someone like Steve, you take it away, Steve.
The fact is,
the
deep state establishment is so embedded in this government, and along with the media system, they control the entire narrative. This is why most people are believing the lies that they want you and I to believe. If you think I'm just making that up, then here are the facts for you to think about. A new poll from the Associated Press, NORC, Center for Public Affairs Research, and USA Facts found that regardless of political belief, many Americans say they have a hard time figuring out if the information is true or not. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say they often come across one-sided information, and about 6 in 10 say they regularly see conflicting reports about the same set of facts from different sources. There are wolves in sheep's clothing everywhere. But the reality is the TV networks continuously blast Trump with 96% negative news.
That's
They are
unbelievable,
spinning
man.
everything
You watching
he does
fake
as a
news?
negative story.
Who's out there watching
Did you
damn
hear what I just
Luciferian,
said?
ran, communist,
If everything I
freaking
said
damn
about you,
fake
everything your
news
neighbors said
channels?
about you, and everything your family said about you was negative, how long do you think it would be before the rest of the world would believe it too? So if you're listening to the mainstream media, and that's all you're listening to, you will be either brainwashed or you'll at least believe what you've heard or the facts instead of the false information you're really getting. House Democrats' drive for impeachment is more likely aimed at creating a deluge of negative daily headlines, hoping to cripple President Trump going into next year's election. If that's their goal, then the broadcast networks are doing everything they can to help achieve that partisan objective. They don't have any real evidence that he could be impeached with, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. Analysts have reviewed all coverage of President Trump and his administration on the ABC, CBS, and CBS evening newscasts since 2017. For 2 years, since the impeachment inquiry started on September 24th, the coverage has been even more hostile than normal. Out of
I don't know who the heck would watch
684
that.
evaluative comments included in these broadcasts, 96% had been negative versus a meager 4%
Freaking bastards,
that have been
man.
positive.
In terms of guns, again, as I said to some of you earlier, this is a bullet. I was in Florida it was all over the country, but when I was in Florida, I received this from Frederica Wilson, my colleague.
I thought you were against the Second Amendment.
Bullets in the color
Are you
orange,
sporting a
which is
bullet
the color
bracelet?
of gun violence protection. This told the president we're not going away until we get this background check bill passed. But it is just among the other for the people agenda legislation that we have. So
Legislate you out.
Legislate,
Freaking
investigate.
office.
Mr. Schiff, Mr. Chairman will be here shortly. He'll
Shit.
report on some of that. I just want to say how proud I am of him and the members of the Intelligence Committee for being here over the break, for the valuable legislation investigations that they have done. All roads seem to lead to Putin with the president, though, isn't it so?
friggin'
And
fake
then
news. They're
when
trying to
we
start
talk
a war with
about,
Russia, these bastards.
undermining the integrity of our elections, that's wrong. And when you're talking about violating
These are traitors.
the president's
Invoke the
oath of
Insurrection Act,
office
Trump.
to protect, defend, and preserve the Constitution of the United States to the best of his ability. That's the presidential oath. To the best of his ability. Well, we'll go with that. In any event, the rulings were that we won last week were 3 of them against the president's hateful public charge rule from taking effect, a ruling against the president's sham national emergency declaration to build his wasteful border wall.
TV networks' fascination with Democrats' impeachment push has crowded out nearly all other news about the administration. During the 6 weeks since Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi announced the start of the inquiry, ABC, CBS, and NBC evening newscasts have churned out 398 minutes of coverage to the Ukraine scandal.
Look at that piece of crap. Oh, both of them.
3/5 of all administration news.
Don't be
during
doing
this
the work of
period.
fake news
As
out
I
there. We're
mentioned,
bad enough we got fake
legislating.
news doing the fake news.
We're litigating, we're investigating, and leading that for us is our very distinguished chair of the Intelligence Committee, Mr. Schiff.
This nearly matches the 438 minutes of airtime these newscasts produced during the most hyper-intensive 6 weeks of the Russia collusion scandal, starting when the president fired James Comey as FBI director on May 9th, 2017, and media talking heads began railing about Trump's Watergate through June 20th of that year. Weeks that also included the appointment of Robert Mueller as special counsel on May 17th and Comey's hyped congressional testimony on June 8th. With most of the developments behind closed doors, the majority of the network's impeachment coverage has been based on secret leaks from anonymous sources. Out of 172 news reports, 59% relied on unnamed sources for their
Unnamed
facts about the impeachment probe. Despite record highs in the stock market and a 50-year low in the unemployment rate, the
I guess
president's
that
handling
doesn't
of the
count.
economy was given barely a 4-minute airtime during these 6 weeks, or less than 1% of all Trump administration news. TV's heavy coverage of impeachment has essentially smothered coverage of the Democratic presidential race, which drew a mere 110 minutes of coverage during these 6 weeks.
Nobody wants to watch
What's
those
the point
commies
of all
on
these
stage.
stats I just gave you? Well, while the broadcast networks churned out more than 7 hours of coverage devoted to a whistleblower's complaint about President Donald Trump's phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, they rarely delved into the details of Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden's sweetheart deal with a Ukrainian company. Even when the networks mentioned Trump's concern about Hunter benefiting from his father's status as a vice president, they were quick to dismiss the allegations with the refrain, "No evidence of any wrongdoing."
No evidence. No evidence. No evidence.
No evidence.
What the heck do you call the video of Joe Biden then? In his own words. If you and enough people believe these lies from the deep state mainstream media, and they succeed in getting rid of President Trump,
This is what's going to happen.
we'll see a hell unleashed by the shadow government in this country that will make China's totalitarian regime look like a Disney vacation.
All right, let me stop. If you're doing the business of fake news, if you're making Trump look bad, then what you're doing is you're trying to get the damn Dems, these freaking commies, elected. Period. End of story. End of story. That's what you're doing. if you're out there, don't. It's bad enough we got Microsoft LSD, we got the Commis News Network, we got Fox, Slate, Salon, ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS, NPR. I should say NPR, and about 90% is Libby Lou owned. Okay, we don't need anybody eating our own. We don't need anybody. I'm just saying, if anybody's out there getting second thoughts about anything, all right. So far, so good. I see. So far, overall, as far as the people that are still support the president, was supporting him in 2016, still supporting him. Maybe a few defectors, but overall, still a lot supporting him and more coming on board. Yeah, it's not perfect. I know. We get it. It's never going to be perfect till Jesus comes back. All right. So let's get that out of the way. I mean, you can't have everything that you want. All right. That's his theme song too, and you can't. You're not going to get overnight success with stopping climate change or geoengineering. And the 5G rollout, I mean, whose hands is that in, ultimately? And, it's not perfect. So let us do that, raise awareness, critical mass awareness on that. Still, there's a lot of good that he has done. He's deterred North Korea, overall. Putting China in its place, rightfully so. Everything used to be made in USA, and now everything's freaking made in China, damn it. All right? So we gotta stop that crap. We gotta bring the jobs back here. And it would be a hell of a lot worse with Hillary. And it's going to be a hell of a lot worse if Trump doesn't win the 2020. All right? That's straight. And Steve, this is a well-researched guy. Are you kidding me? Plus, he's a staunch Christian. I mean, he reads his Bible, he prays into him. He has tremendous insight. So there's that.
If we don't stand up against their political correctness, their social manipulation of our country, and the brainwashing of our children, then we're done as a nation and a country. Apparently, I need to dust off what we can prove about American FEMA camps and reintroduce the concepts to a new audience about what lies ahead should the Democrats be successful in removing Donald Trump from office.
Trump get removed or lose the election either. All right? Better start thinking about it. Or lose the election, too. Unfreaking believable, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I introduced a new concept. Let Steve or someone else discuss it with my commentary in the background. I don't have to give you flashy, dangling shiny object in front of you all the time. It's time to, try different approaches to bringing the truth to you. So there it is. Steve from Think About It. Go like his channel. Go check my channel out, For the Awake, FORTHEAWAKE. I'll leave a link in there below later on. All right, folks? But whatever you do, don't watch fake news. That was a This Just In weekend edition of The Shock Treatment.